YouTube and let everyone know where I've been, what's been going on, and why I haven't posted a video in like a year. I'm so happy that 2016 is over with. It was a very tough year for me and my family, and I kind of want to give you an update on what happened and why I was gone for so long. And now I'm back and I'm ready to start posting videos, hopefully more regularly. In October of 2015, I believe it was, 2015 is when I was coaching my first basketball season at my school, and I got a phone call from my dad, and he told me that everything was okay, not to worry, not to freak out. So of course right away I freaked out, but he had told me that they found a tumor in his pancreas. When we found that out, I automatically went, tumors aren't good. I'm not very familiar with cancer or anything, but when you hear tumor or when you hear something that scary, I just figured, oh, this is not good. So after my dad was diagnosed with that tumor, we did a lot of testing, we did a lot of hospital stays, and a lot of trying to figure out what was really wrong with him. The initial reason why he started and went to the doctor in the first place is because he started to lose a lot of weight, and he was a UPS driver, so he works in the summers, it's really hot, he's always moving around and lifting heavy packages. So we thought, oh, that could possibly be it, but something just wasn't right. So he went to the doctor, where that's when I got the phone call that he had, they had found not only diabetes, which what they had first diagnosed, but something more serious, which was a tumor on his pancreas. And fast forward a couple of months, it turned out to be stage 3 cancer. If you're not familiar with the pancreas, it is located behind the stomach, and it's used to filter out and produce insulin, filter out the bad things in your body. And my dad's just wasn't doing that because of the tumor, and it had eventually blocked the main vein, I believe it's mesenteric vein, that makes it work correctly. So long story short, that was a pretty bad place to have a tumor, and he started to go to chemo, and he fought aggressively for a little under a year. He did chemo, radiation, and nothing worked. Basically, he started getting really sick. We had to do blood transfusions. In the meantime, he had moved in with me, and I had been taking care of him and just really trying to spend as much time as possible with him. And that was probably the hardest time of my life, because even though God has a plan, He has the ultimate say. When you're dealing with somebody that is that sick, and it's really hard to watch somebody every single day that you love just simply deteriorate right in front of you and not think of the inevitable, which was death at that point. I had a really hard time with it. I constantly tried to keep him happy and keep him, just focused on God and the good things that were to come for him, because like I said before, I'm a believer, and it's easier for me to face death now, knowing that Christ has died for all of these things so that we could live with him. It gives me more peace, and it was just easier for me. Now, it wasn't as easy for my dad. I read a lot of books that tried to prepare me, so to speak, for this, for the inevitable, and I just am so grateful for all the moments that I did have with him. He passed away after several months of chemo and fighting really hard. He just after fighting really, really hard and just never giving up, his body just couldn't take the chemo, the radiation anymore, and he was really, really skinny and just not eating. It was just surreal what we were going through. We couldn't believe it was happening at the time. It was only about it was less than a year, so it seems like a long time when you think about it. A lot can happen in a year. Yes, it can, but it was this weird mix of it's going really slow, almost too slow, and I didn't want him to suffer anymore, to now where I say, wow, that happened so fast, I can't even believe it happened. And I wish I would have spent even more time than I actually did. I think anybody who loses anyone will always go back in their mind and say, what could I have done? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? And constantly question every decision that you made throughout the process. Now, I know that everything happens the way it's supposed to happen anyway. So I'm still at peace. I'm still very hopeful for my future. I'm still hopeful for what he's experiencing right now, being in the presence of the Lord. He's so lucky. He's not in pain. He's not experiencing the things that we do as humans. So even though it was the hardest time of my life, all I can say is we all made it through. He is in a better place, as cliche as that sounds, and we are all just moving along like how we should. That just kind of reassures me that this is a process. This is a life, the circle of life, and that's what's supposed to happen. Now, do I think my dad was too young? Absolutely. Do I think we had enough time? No. Do I think it's fair? Absolutely not. But do I still have faith? Yes, absolutely. I would not have gone through this without God and without the support of my family, and of course, without my students. So that kind of transitions me into where I've been, what's been going on. It has been tough. It has been so hard. I never would ever wish this pain on anyone. But I have to keep moving forward. And the three most important things in my life keep me going. And that's my faith, my family, and of course, my friends, which are all around me, all on Facebook. You guys are all so encouraging and so positive and just really helpful in that time. When I share memories, you are all there. All of my dad's friends have sent me cards. It's just so amazing how much support I have received from my friends, my colleagues, my dad's friends, my family, and my students, which I think I will get more emotional talking about my students than I will with my dad, only because I know that my dad's okay. I know that he is looking down on us and just smiling because I have to continue to move for my students. I have to continue to move forward for my students. This group that I have this year is, if you watch my last video, is the same group that I had in 6th grade. So I am now currently teaching 7th grade English language arts. I am with the same group, and I have even added some new ones into our Collegiate Crew. So I am so blessed to have had another year with them. I'm getting to the point where it's towards the end of the year, and I'm getting super emotional because this group has been with me the entire time. My students were there with me, especially my basketball girls were there the moment I found out about my dad. These students were there with me when I had to run out of class and go take care of my dad. These students were there with me when I was kind of in zombie mode, dreading that phone call. And these students were with me when I received that phone call and I had to go home 2 weeks prior to my dad's passing. These students have been through the toughest times of my life. And when I think of them, I get emotional. I get so worked up because I can look at them. I can go back to class regardless of whatever's going on in my life, and they are there. They are the ups, the downs, the happies, the sads, and every time I walk into that school building, they're there, smiling, unconditional, have been so supportive, and for that, I will never, ever let a moment go by without telling them how much they mean to me, and I cannot wait until the day that they come back and see me many years from now and say that they've made it. They have been there to comfort me and just literally pull me through this rough time in my life. So if you're watching Collegiate Crew, you are the reason that I'm here today, still focusing on my dreams and pushing you to achieve yours. Now, I know that not every day is what you plan. It's not every day is what you expect. And yes, we are faced with so many setbacks and so many disappointments, but remember where we all have started and to where we are now. This darkness in my life has been overcome by the light that I see in each and every one of you. So again, I thank you. I love you more than I could ever express. I cannot thank you enough for still loving me and still encouraging me, even when I wasn't the best teacher I could be, even when I disappoint you. I just am so grateful for your love and your encouragement, especially my team, Erica, Tatum, Christine. You picked me up when I was in the lowest point. So again, I appreciate you guys just as much. Pancreatic cancer community, I feel for you. If you're still fighting, I'm fighting with you. Keep the faith, keep the hope alive. Hopefully this video taught you a little something about who I am and what was going on through this past year. I miss my dad very much, but I am pushing forward for all of you, for my students. Always remember to believe in yourself, find something to believe in, and don't ever stop believing in it. You can do anything you put your mind to. Thank you so much for watching, and leave me a comment down below if you would like to see anything specific. Again, I'm getting this channel back up and running. Hopefully I can do something to more of your liking. Thank you. When I had to